Okay, so I want to look at how to download both the Java and Eclipse. So I'm going to go to Canvas here. And in our Canvas homepage, week 0 module, textbook and needed applications for this class. Following are needed for this class. So we need the Java JDK, Java Development Kit, and the Eclipse Integrated Development Environment. So the Java will run the programs, the Eclipse is what we're going to write them in. And there's a few steps to sort of doing this. So I'm first going to go to this Install Java Development Kit link, and we can just hit on this Java SE downloads. So when I did that, the first time it asked me to create an account. So I just created an account. You can create an account with your email address, and then it'll send you an email. The email takes a few minutes to arrive, and it asks you to confirm your email. I don't know why. Okay, I guess I'm already signed in here. So once you have your account, you sign in. I think the easiest one is the Java 14.0.1 right now. I mean, that could change in the future if you're seeing this in a different course. You just want the newest version. It actually doesn't matter that much. Any version will work. So I'm going to click on that JDK download, and then it's going to open up the Development Kit 14. And so here you have to choose which computer you have. So most people are going to do the Windows 64 installer or the Mac OS installer for a Mac or Windows. If you're using some other operating system, you might have to get technical support to figure that out. So contact me and we can talk about it, or just figure out which one is the right one. You could probably Google it and see. Okay, so most people who are on a PC will use this Windows one. I'm going to go ahead and hit download. It wants me to accept the license agreement and then download. And that looks like it's going to take some time. So I'm going to let that go on, and I'm going to go back. Maybe I'll let it finish. I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so the installer finished, so I'm going to open it. And most people probably can just do these things, just kind of follow your nose and see what it wants you to do. Do you want to allow this map to? Yes, you can make changes to my device. And then it's going to install it. I'm just going to walk through this. I think you can just kind of click next, 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 and say yes. I already have Java, so let's see. I think we're just going to click next, next, next. Maybe I'll just go ahead and use the new one here. It's going to go ahead and download. While that's downloading, I'm going to go to Eclipse over here. So I'll follow this link. Check on this. Still downloading. In the Eclipse website, Eclipse IDE for Java developers, we're just going to use the download here. Any of these buttons will work, I think. Download the 64-bit package. So I've already done this. I clicked download there. It downloaded down to here. And once it's done downloading, again, I can open up the installer. And I'm going to have a choice here. And we're going to want to choose the first choice when this menu pulls up. There's the Eclipse installer. I'm going to flip back to the Java installer for a second. I can go to next steps. I don't need to. I'm just going to hit close. You can just hit close. So we may need to figure out where that stored, but for most of us, we don't. So when I go to the Eclipse installer, I have all these choices. I just want the first choice, Eclipse IDE for Java developers. And I'm just going to click install. So this is an old version of Java in my computer. So that's my old one. I have the new one here, 14.0.1, and I'm going to choose that instead. So you probably won't have that if you haven't never installed Java. It's probably just going to find it as long as you install the Java first. So there's the new one I'm going to use instead of the old one. You probably only have one. So again, install the Java first, and then install the Eclipse, and it should be able to figure out where your Java lives. Except, sure, remember, I don't know, sure, accept. And while this is installing, I might again pause so not to waste your time. Okay, so another, while that was installing, another window popped up and asked me to accept something. I did. So I think I had to hit accept twice, and now I can launch it from here, or I can use my alias Eclipse IDE from here, or put one down on my, that might be the old one. Not sure, but let's look at it. Close that guy. I do want to exit the installer. Do you want to launch it now? So it's asking me if I want to launch it. Sure. And so we're going to do our coding through in Java through Eclipse. And here it's asking me for a workspace. So this is where I will keep all of my Java code. I like to just keep a folder on my desktop. So maybe I'll just go over here now and create a new folder. And I'll just call it Java Summer 20. Or I'll shorten that to SU 20. And now I'm not going to use that workspace. I'm going to use this folder on my desktop, Java Summer 20. What this does for me is it just makes it easier for me to find all of my code in one place when I need it. So, and then I'm going to use this as my default. So when I open Eclipse, it should automatically use that as my default workspace. And once Eclipse opens, there's a couple of things we need to do before we can start coding. We just need to make a new project, and taking its time because it's a new software. So maybe I'll just pause again. Okay, so this welcome page opened up. Welcome to Eclipse IDE for Java developers. This has things that are Eclipse related. So our class, we're not learning Eclipse, we're using Eclipse. So you can delve in here as deep as you want. We will use it probably at first not delve into some of the details in Eclipse. You don't need them. And then as you develop as a programmer, you can jump in here more and learn more about the IDE itself. What we can do is just go straight to our workbench. Up here, if you want to show this welcome page always at the start, you can click this clicker here. Doesn't really matter. I don't use it at all, so you probably don't need it, at least not right away. And then we go to our workbench. This is a new sort of software here, so I'm going to make myself a little smaller, and I'm going to have to kind of walk through to see what's going on just with some of this stuff. So I don't think we need any of that. It's just a website. It's fine. They're donating. So I'm just going to close that. That's a web link. So we're just going to close that. We don't need it. This is our general coding environment. And what we can do here is just create a Java project, or we can go to File, right there, and do New Project or Java Project. Create a Java project. So that's what we need to do to start. Create Java project. Project name, let's just call it Chapter 1. I like to have a project per chapter, and then we can put our coding from that chapter in there. You can just ignore all of that and say new. Working set type, I'm just going to use Java. Let's see, normally we won't need to do this every time. Enter a working set name and select the working set elements. Can I skip this? Oh, I hit the wrong button, sorry. The zoom is covering my, sorry. I didn't want to do a working set. I just need to finish here, it's fine. Finish. So I just type in Chapter 1, and I can just hit finish. So do we want to start a module name? Let's don't create a module. Okay, so there's our package, our new Java project called Chapter 1, and we're going to put our code always in this source code folder, so I can open this source code folder and then do a new class. And I think I will, well, I'll go ahead and make a class here. So let's just call it name. And I'm just going to give it a capital N here, call it name. We'll leave that public. I'm going to click on this little public static void main. We can get rid of this inherited abstract methods. So we want the source folder, it should be there, Chapter 1 src. If you're on a Mac, you're going to have to give it a package name. On a PC, we can just use what's called the default package. So PCs just don't do anything. On a Mac, I'll come back and show you how to do that. We're going to hit finish. Oh, click on the public static void. Hit finish. It should open up my new class. This is where my code is going to be. This is my class called name, public static void main. This is a comment that I'm going to just say the test class to print my name. I'm going to put a statement in here, system.out.println, print line, in quotes, to my name, Toutongi, T-O-U for two, T-O-N, Ton, G-H-I, Toutongi. And then at the end of the statement, it wants a semicolon. And that's all our class is going to do. My name is Toutongi. In person, I like to go by my last name. I mean, at school, on campus, Toutongi. I don't think we're going to be on campus this quarter. So in the online environment, that Toutongi can be a bit of a drag to type. So sometimes I will go by, in the online environment, when I'm grading and things, and if you want to refer to me, you can use my initials, JT. System.out.println, JT. And we will run it by using this little green run button. Select resources to save. Always save resources before launching. Click. That'll save you having to do that every time. OK. And there it prints my name. Again, it's Toutongi. Maybe I'll show you how to pronounce that in the next line. System. So if you have it open, try these lines of code on your own. Quote, it's the number 2. Followed by, it rhymes with dawn, so ton. And then it's like the gi in geese, Toutongi. And see this little red line after it's telling me I'm missing a semicolon to end the statement. And we'll run that again. Tutangi. Tutangi. Okay, so that's my name. That's hopefully where we get to with installing both Java and the Eclipse IDE environment. Those are the two things we need to do our coding. And if you're having a hard time with either of those, or with this process of getting to where I am right now, please keep working on it and maybe post into the forum, the discussion forum, and plan, if you still don't get it in the first, before class starts, plan on doing one of the Zoom meetings on the first 2 days of classes with me so that I can help walk you through this. Okay, I'm gonna exit the video now.